Hi, welcome to the Impact Driven Entrepreneur. Today, we are going to do things a little differently. I have one of our long-term clients, Tabitha, with us. She's been with us for a little over a year, and we're going to go into a coaching call and kind of show you behind the scenes of the methodology that I teach, how she's implemented it, and we're going to make a plan for her moving forward with the goal of increasing profitability in the business that she has. So welcome, Tabitha. How are you?
Thank you, Mariana. I am doing great. Excited about the call today.
Yeah, me too. Tell us, everyone who doesn't know you, why don't we just do a little overview of what is your business? What do you help people with?
Sure. So I am an attorney and a conflict management strategist, and I help professional women who might feel overwhelmed by conflict to learn how to manage conflict if it can't be resolved. If it can be resolved, I help them resolve it. And this would apply in their workplaces, which is my niche, but also there's a spillover effect because once we get to learning how to do it, then women just get excited and go resolve conflict everywhere, which is the goal.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Okay. So, and the business is called Marshall Duke Consulting, right?
Yes, we are Marshall Duke Consulting.
Okay, awesome. Just so everyone's on the same page in case that comes up. Okay. So every quarter we ask people in our program in the profitable impact formula, that's for people who are really scaling and growing beyond that first $50,000 mark. And we're going to scale you up. And in that program, we have you every month, or every quarter, I'm sorry, complete a house, which is the framework that we utilize to help drive traffic, drive profits in your company and make sure your business is sustainable long-term. So what we have today is actually your house from April, right?
Yes, yes.
And we're going to talk about each element of your business using this framework and where we are today, and then start to make a plan for where we're going to go moving forward. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let me screen share so everybody can see. And if you're on the podcast, make sure you go subscribe on YouTube so that you can see all of our video and the training. Okay, so in your attract, you have, okay, so let's talk about the color so everybody's on the same page. We have you color coded. So the green means you have it working, right? It's up and working.
Yes.
Yes. Blue is it's there, but it's not working as well as you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Purple means that it's automated.
Mm-hmm.
And what is pink? I can't remember pink.
Where's page 2 of my house?
Let's see. I know I only have one page. So we'll talk about pink when we get to it. Okay. Yes. But that's just a brief overview. Okay. Now let's just explain in overall to everybody so that everybody's on the same page. Okay. So we have our attract, which is the content that you're publishing on your social media platforms. We have your connect, which is how you are building deeper relationships and pulling people in. We're going to assume that anybody in the expansion stage already has their clarity and productivity pretty much nailed down. So we're going to kind of skip that and just focus on the customer journey. And for commit, convert, and keep, you could, every product you have becomes like levels in a house. Okay. So work has to be done at each level for each product you have to ensure that you have a continuous sales process for each and every product. Okay. So I know you weren't doing done for you and one-on-one in April, but now you are. So do you want to start there?
Yes. So I am now doing done for you. I have now a coaching program. And that coaching program is where people come in with the issues that they have, and I work through them with the client. If there is a need for something to be done, I will frame it for them. So, for example, I was working with a client last week and she needed to respond to something. And so we talked about what she was comfortable saying. And then I said, can I help you frame a response? And what I did off the cuff was frame a response using her conflict styles that she could use in the business situation to show that she is engaged. She might just be showing up a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do in the done for you service. If someone needs if someone needs to write a letter or send a reply to someone or so on, that's a part of the done for you service. I would definitely frame that letter for them. Once they've done the draft, I would go in and help them to get that letter to where it should be.
Okay, awesome. So right now, let's talk about the sales process for the done for you.
Mm-hmm.
So sales calls is still primarily how you're selling that one, right?
Yes, that's the only way I'm selling that one.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're not using a sales page, so that can be completely eliminated, right?
Yes.
So it's sales calls. How are we booking the sales calls?
I am booking the sales calls through reaching out to people, letting them know what I do, asking them if they want to get on a sales call, and then I am going through that sales call with them.
Okay.
I'd have the first call, and then the first call is a listening call where I find out what's happening and I see if I can help. If I can't help, I would say so, and I would refer them to someone who I think could help. If I can help, I would invite them to another call where I would prepare a little presentation to them, letting them know my thoughts on the issue that they're facing and giving them options for moving forward.
Okay. Oh, and sorry for the background noise. My son is listening to YouTube with the door open. Okay. So, all right. So the sales process is through direct outreach. Now, I
Yes.
know you have, okay, I want to kind of speed up because I know your sales process a little bit and I don't want to go too fast, but when you're doing that sales process, are you also offering the other programs, or is it primarily just this is being sold on? Like, or is the sales process through sales calls for all the rest of the programs?
The sales process is through sales calls for this program. What I do, if I find out that there is a financial reason that someone isn't ready for the elite coaching, whether it's financial reason or whether they feel that they're not ready for that level of involvement right away, I offer the conflict management circle as an option if someone wants to stay engaged.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have a downsell.
Yes.
That's also happening through sales calls.
Yes, the downsell is happening through sales calls. My goal is to automate the process for conflict management circle and have that one a little more automated where I'm not making sales calls for that, as well as the self-paced course to automate that one too.
Okay. Got it. And then that's for your convert, and for your keep, your team is doing a good job of actually moving them into the conflict management circle, right? That's how they're doing it, through emails and your team reaching out.
Well, that is going to happen, but that hasn't started happening as yet.
Okay. Okay. But they are doing that in the other program. So you already have a pretty good system for it that you can
Yes.
just translate up into that program.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about the conflict management circle, which is the one where we want to automate a little bit more. Okay.
Mhm.
So, hold on one second before we go there. You said, before we started talking that you want your team to be doing more with sales. Do
Yes.
you feel that that they are helping and supporting you well through booking the sales calls and following up for after? Are you comfortable keeping doing the sales calls? Like, what is your plan here for the one-on-one before we move on?
So my plan for the one-on-one is for them to start the process of outreach and book the sales calls. Right now, I am doing all of that. My team started onboarding in August, and I am still doing some training. I want to get them comfortable enough on that so that they can start to communicate with confidence. I've pulled back on the speed of how I was training because I'd rather take the time and make them comfortable so that they can effectively reach out rather than reach out. I feel as though an ineffective reach out could damage a relationship.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Mhm.
That's happened in my business. Like, just totally true. Okay, so how are we training them in terms of getting more confident in reaching out? What does that look like?
Mhm. So right now, the first thing we did was for them to actually listen to the market research calls. And
Okay.
I used our coaching spreadsheet, our spreadsheet from our program, to have everyone put in there their interpretation of the problem that the client
Mhm.
presented with. Having done that, we had a call where we talked about it and I narrowed it down by highlighting the problem. After that, they're now moving into doing the messaging clarity course inside of the IDE portal, because what I want for them to understand from that is how to speak to the client and how to define that problem when they're communicating with clients.
Yeah.
After that, and I was actually confused, you could probably give me some clarity on that. I have two options for next steps. Either the sales SOP, which I've curated for my business, and I just need to tweak that, or the Facebook SOP on how to actually connect with people on Facebook, which is our main platform of connection, and how to introduce them to what we do and let them know more about it. And I'm not quite sure which one should be my next step.
Okay. Um, so is it going to be focusing on the sales SOP or focusing on the Facebook connection process?
I would like,
That's the question, right? That's
yes,
what you're
that's the
asking.
question. Yes.
Yes. Okay. But you already have something you would like. So tell me what you would like.
I would like, I would like to be able to set up an automated process. So I want whichever one would get me there faster.
Okay. Automated is your preferred.
Automated is my preferred. When I say automated, I don't mean by using advertisements and that kind of thing. An automated process for booking sales calls. That's what I want to have set
That
up.
they are using the process
They are
and
using the
you don't have to
process.
do it.
I
Yes.
don't have
Like
to start from the
automating through
beginning.
people.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Automating through people, basically.
Yes,
Okay. I
yes.
also want to note you're like, oh, Facebook is our main platform. So it's interesting because even since April, so not only has your customer success journey changed and you've added this much, more profitable one-on-one, but you've also improved your business page, which is a good plus as well. Or your Facebook marketing? Is it through your business page or your personal?
It is going to be through my personal. So
Okay.
based on one of your trainings, I updated the banner on my personal so that at
Yeah,
least people could see what I do. It's going to be through my personal and through a Facebook group, my Facebook group.
got it. Okay. So the Facebook personal and the group. Awesome.
Yes.
Are you still doing YouTube and LinkedIn? I know LinkedIn worked for you for a while.
LinkedIn worked for me, but LinkedIn worked for me just by connecting without using the IDE process. So I haven't even started using the process on LinkedIn, because when I looked at it and I had my one-on-one coaching call, it was too much for me at this
I
stage.
remember. Yeah.
Yes.
Because you were just hiring those people.
Yes. Yes.
And it was a better focus to train them than to take on this other platform.
Yes.
Got it.
And in the last call, Corey said, forget Instagram, LinkedIn is your next shift.
Yeah, I agree. I think Instagram, it's fine, but for the professionals you're trying to get, they're going to be more on LinkedIn. And also the way you even speak and communicate is just much more professional in nature. It's going to be more within how you show up naturally. And the depth is there, where, on Instagram, an emoji is a fine comment, and that's just
it's just not, it just doesn't accord with, it doesn't accord with my personality. I've looked at TikTok and I can't imagine getting on there. People are like, I said, that's wonderful. But I just have to work with what I have and who I am.
Exactly. And your strengths. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, so the question is, do I focus on the sales SOP or the Facebook SOP next?
Yes.
And my answer is going to be yes. Meaning it should be the same thing, right? It's how do I apply Facebook to my sales SOP, right? Because the sales SOP can be used on any platform. Right. And the Facebook SOP teaches you the specifics of that platform.
Right.
So the answer is yes. It's not an this or that. It has to be, I'm merging both to fit my business. So that's what I would focus on. And I would guess most of your sales SOP is already set up with that. There would be only a couple of different things that you might want to put from the Facebook SOP onto there, or like managing the group, right? Like that's not necessarily part of the sales SOP, but it could be a great way when a new member comes in to begin. It's another vehicle to start that lead gen process and moving them through.
Yes.
So it's a yes is the answer. It's those two. It's let's meld those two for your business specifically.
Okay.
And kind of cross check sales SOP, because you said I have to work on it. I'm like, no, when we went through it in the summer, you did work on it. You did customize it completely to your business.
Yes, I did.
You did.
Yes. This sounds like my
you don't have to work on that.
So this sounds like my last coaching call with Corey, when she's like, but you did all of this. And I'm like, Corey, I'm going to take the rest of the day off. And I did because, I did.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes we think something is going to be so much harder, or our perfectionism kicks in and it's like, well, it's not exactly to today's standard, right, of what I know now.
Yeah.
Because I find for me, it's like, I learn so much every single day, every single week, every month, that when I've done something 6 months ago, I think it's not good enough because I don't have the knowledge. I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. Right. So in that way, sure, there may be a couple of tweaks, but the reality is you did tweak it. And at the time, you did center it around selling. your programs, and you had all the programs you have now
Yes,
when we went through it in the summer.
that is
So
true. Yes.
it would only be a couple of tweaks to really customizing it and focusing it in on Facebook, and then creating processes from that Facebook SOP that may be missing, like the Dream 100 that we talked about in there, which we went over again in the summer. What else might be in there? Managing the Facebook group and how those conversations begin, the data, pulling the data from the Facebook group questionnaire, those kind of things, just making sure that the VAs are doing that. But it's not a complete overhaul at all. It's just making sure things are kind of like intertwined in the cogwheels. That's all.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Awesome.
Okay, so that with that being said, let's back it up 2 steps. If your VAs were doing the sales SOP and managing the Facebook exactly per the SOPs, would they be able to meet the goal of booking your sales calls every week?
Yes.
Okay, so then that is the main missing link for them to become exponentially more profitable right now. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off so we can, like, because we're not really using it right now.
Okay, and I did put a new one there that has the colors and the explanation for the colors. I put that in the chat too. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll link it in the show notes in case we don't get back to it.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, you said I want them reaching out to people, but I'm also afraid that if they're saying the wrong things or something, they could break relationships, right? Okay, this is a real concern, and I want to address it in 2 ways: the mindset piece and the process. Okay, so let's talk about the process first, because once we clean that all up, then we can just address whatever's left with the mindset. Okay, so in the way in which you're training them, are they supposed to introduce themselves as themselves?
Yes.
Okay. If someone is training and they do something wrong and they actually say they're themselves, is that forgivable?
Like in terms of reaching out and saying they're themselves?
Yeah. So like, okay, I'm training and I'm going to be your new VA, and my name is going to be Brooke. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm Brooke. I'm your new VA. I'm training. I make a mistake, and I'm going to just share a scenario that actually happened in my business. Okay. So my VA comes on very excited. She knows she has to communicate with people on DM. So she goes and sends 300 messages to our followers. And they were like, hi, I can't remember what exactly she said, but it was clearly like not acknowledging anything about them. It was like, it wasn't like come buy our stuff, thankfully. But she sent some of these messages to like people that were like our family, people who I had met at conferences, right? Like there was no understanding of anything deeper in that relationship. And I felt that was a betrayal of trust, right? And she did sign off as herself, just like you're talking about here. Okay. So the question is, if something like that were to happen, do you think your people would give you grace, give your company grace, give her grace because she's like brand new at this?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes, they would definitely do that. And my culture in my company is that everything is forgivable.
Oh, perfect.
Everything is
Even
forgivable.
better.
Yes. And I say that up front. I say, if I'm not available, I need you to make a decision and move ahead. And
Yes.
in our onboarding, we talked about the culture, and we talked about how we can embody the culture. And at the end of it, I said, now, if you need to make a decision, come back and look at the culture. If you need to make a decision without me, pick one of these that accords to what you're doing, make a decision based on the culture. Once you do that, whatever you do, I will support you.
Love it.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
So if they were to go out there and send some messages, like 300 of them, because they were so excited, would you be okay with that?
Well, yes. Now that I've brought back to my memory what my culture is, my response to everyone would be, Brooke sent this out because a part of our culture is to show love to people. And she's so
Mhm.
excited about what we do and how it could help that she wants you to see that. She forgot to say so and so, but here I am saying, this is really what we meant to say.
Mhm.
And we're still glad we reached out to you. That would be like the response that I
Yes.
would send.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
hope it made your day in some way, or I hope at least you enjoyed hearing from us.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And right, like that is like 100% true, right?
Yes.
And in relationships, one of the most important parts of relationships is that repair,
Yes.
right? So like to have a unified relationship with somebody, you would need to have repair, not just pretend everything's fine, right?
Mhm.
But you actually go out there, and either Brooke would solve her own problem and
Mhm.
like go repair with the, oh my gosh, I just found out, that actually you and Tabitha have known each other for a very long time, and I'm so sorry I didn't know that, right?
Yes.
That repair would be important in any relationship, right? So could it be that even if they went out there, sent the wrong messages, and repaired, that it would actually strengthen the relationship with your followers no matter what?
I see exactly how that could happen now, because the followers not only got to see like who we are, but how we correct ourselves and how we
Mhm.
explain ourselves. And I think all of that goes to integrity. So what I would hope is that they would see integrity even in the mistake.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm,
I agree 100%. And it
mhm.
shows that you are embodying conflict resolution,
Yes.
right?
Instead of just sitting and freezing and saying, oh my goodness, I made a mistake, I'm going to shut down my computer and just go to bed, or
Right.
have a bad day
Right.
for the rest of the day.
Right.
Mhm.
So knowing this, does this change your, I guess, willingness to allow them to send out some more messages?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I love how you got me there.
Yeah.
Totally
We start,
mindset.
yeah, it was mindset, but we disguised it as a process.
Guys, if you're listening, what you may know or not know is that mindset is always a part of what we do. And this is why, Mariana ensures that we have all the materials we need to take care of our mindset so that we actually set ourselves up for success instead of just wallowing.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not a program where we sit and wallow.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah. That's for sure. Okay. So what can we do in the next 1 to 2 weeks? So like, where are they with their training, and where would sales SOP start to fit in? Because I thought we were having them do a sales SOP a
Mhm.
few weeks ago. So I wasn't
Mhm.
sure where we were. Okay.
So we are with our training. We are now at messaging clarity. We will finish messaging clarity by mid next week. And then
Okay.
we're ready to start SOP. Yes.
Also, what's coming to my mind is because I was like, whoa, where did the year go? In about 1 week, we're almost at Thanksgiving, Black Friday,
Yes.
that
Yes.
whole thing, right?
Mhm.
So given that is the case, how can we maximize, hey, this is Black Friday, hey, this is Thanksgiving, and my team is going to now be going out there in a more intentional way to reach out to followers? How might you integrate that strategy?
Well, I was thinking of having an offer that would be a lower offer so that they're not overwhelmed, and an offer that would help people prepare to work with me.
Love it.
And doing that is, to do that, they would learn the 5 conflict styles and get their own conflict styles assessment and have 2 group coaching calls around conflict styles and how to use your assessment. I had a client on Friday. I sent her the assessment the night before. After reading that assessment, she came into that call with different needs, from the needs she thought she would have. Yes, from the needs she thought she would have when she enrolled. And so she was able to immediately see some gaps that she needed to fill to take care of an ongoing business negotiation. And so we dealt with that first. And then we moved on to deal with the thing that she really thought she wanted to discuss, right?
Right.
Which surrounded some litigation. So it's very, very important. I'm finding that having this assessment would really empower people. And I want to give people that. So I want to create an offer where they can do the assessment and be empowered through some reflective coaching sessions.
Okay, love it. So it's going to be like a mini offer.
It's a mini offer.
Okay. So it's going to be Black Friday only, right? We're not selling this any other time.
Okay.
Yes, that's going to be because what can happen? So my worry about this offer long term, okay, it would only be long term, is that it can compete with the other offers you have.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think it's fine for a Black Friday one-time special. But then we're gonna stop it. Now you could bring it back next Black Friday. That's totally fine. But because it goes through those conflict styles, it can compete with the course.
Yes, it can. Okay. Yes, it can.
Okay.
Yeah, love it.
What is the benefit? Like, okay, so where do you want to go now? Do you want to go deeper into this specific offer, into how they're going to go out there and sell it? Like, where do you want to take the rest of it?
That would be helpful. The offer and how they would sell it.
Okay. So
because I think I'm good with the SOP and merging some of the Facebook with the sales SOP that we have. Okay.
So it's going to be 2 coaching sessions and the conflict clarity around their conflict resolution style.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So how much do you want to charge for that?
$197.
$197. And the promise is you're going to get clarity on your conflict management style so that you can. What does that give me, the clarity?
The clarity helps you to understand what conflict is, and it helps you to understand how to respond to conflict.
Love it.
And I would take that from my, I would actually take that from my resolution roadmap sales page language.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yes, because that's clarity, confidence, and strategy. And so for clarity, it would be discover the conflicts that are affecting you and the reasons behind them, even the ones that you're not aware of, and then learn the appropriate response. That would be that would be the promise.
Love it. Love it. And I would love to see messaging around because it's the clarity piece, the people who either think they have no conflict because everything's fine,
Yes.
that would be an important one, or the people that just bury things and avoid. That's going to be
Yes.
two
Yes.
people who I can see right off the bat this could be a great entry level and the need is high.
Mhm.
Although looking at, remember the model around awareness,
Yes.
that would be, pre-contemplation. So making sure you have some messaging around contemplation.
Mhm.
Sorry guys, that's an advanced topic, but it's in our program. Tabitha knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so have some messaging specifically around contemplation so that people who
Yes.
are ready to buy now will be there. Don't do
Yes.
too much on those pre-contemplation,
Mhm.
but I would touch on those.
Okay.
So now let's talk about how they're going to sell it. So
Mhm.
with this price point, do you think that they would be able to sell it right on to the DM?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so
Yes.
too. I think so too. Okay, so let's talk now. This is where the other thing we talked about comes in that we took like 20 minutes to find. Let's talk about this. So you've used this before, this
Yes.
framework, and this
Yes.
is the framework I would have them going to sell on. So this is our money on demand framework, and basically it uses the bullseye. And you begin with your active clients, you then go to reactivating past clients, and you go
Mhm.
to referrals, affiliates, or people who booked sales calls or had sales calls but didn't buy. And then you go to people in your email list or commit phase
Mhm.
group, etc.
Mhm.
Because you have two team members, are both team members going to be working on selling this program? How have you structured their roles? Is it going to be different for each one? Let's talk about that.
Mhm. Um, I would have one team member. One team member is stronger than the other and has more of a preference for it.
For sales.
Yes, for definitely for lead generation.
Okay.
And I think I would have her work with me on the bullseye. The other team member, I would keep her closer to the center of the bullseye
Mm-hmm.
and have her with active clients
Yeah.
and maybe reactivating.
Love it.
And then the other team member, I would do referrals, commit phase, and current followers, which would be my email list
And group.
and group. Yes, I would
Yes.
have both team members in the group.
Okay. Got it.
Mhm.
Love it. So, I love that because you're using each team member's already strength and affinity
Yes,
towards each of
yes.
those. Okay. Is there space for anything on the outside, other people's audience, cold or paid advertising or SEO?
There's no space for SEO because I haven't done anything at all for SEO. That's my January.
Okay.
That's my January
Strategy.
commitment to start. Yes, to start that next year. Um, I could leverage other people's audiences by either maybe offering an affiliate or offering a coaching session.
Okay.
I think I'm more comfortable with an affiliate because offering an affiliate would probably help them to, will be more motivating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are there people who have your audience who may not be running their own Black Friday, because that would be the only barrier I would see, like if they're already running their own.
Mhm. I know one who has an audience who is not running her own. I can reach out and ask.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
All right. And then SEO, that's a very long-term strategy. So something, and we did mention it last week when we, on the podcast, the call that I did with Corey. So for that one, we did talk about SEO. It's a long-term strategy. So you don't want something that is short-term, like a Black Friday sale necessarily coming up on a post in SEO unless it's directly related to Thanksgiving or something like that. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Because otherwise you're going to end up getting people in there who are going to come in at the wrong time, right? They could come in January and then it's like, oops, you missed it. Okay. So that, pretty much covers. What about previous launches? Because I know you have done a couple challenge launches. Anyone in who's going to cover that piece?
That would have to be me.
Okay. Love it. Sounds like you have a plan. So, and then last time that they helped you, or last time you used the bullseye, did they help you with it or you did it on your own?
I did it on my own and it worked extremely well.
Yeah.
It worked extremely well. I literally, right now, I am working the bullseye and I have not gone past the referrals. I'm inside the bullseye and working.
Yeah, you're still working the inside of it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still working the inside of it. And Mariana, that was a light bulb moment for me. Because what I am doing is working the inside of the bullseye while I build the outside. For me, I like to be professional. I really don't like to. I understand that mistakes will always happen, but let it be a good mistake. Let it not be, a mistake where something wasn't properly set up or software not working or process not working or so on.
Yeah.
And so for me, I want to actually have some framework built. So while I was working the inside of the bullseye, I followed your suggestion and built my drive over so that it's now a professional business drive and the folders have what they need to have in them. I also built out an onboarding process so that I can now forget about that. And when I'm ready to scale and bring on more people, I have an onboarding process. Why did I do it now? I did it now because I am hiring now and I'm not going to hire again for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to hire and train now and then have to go back and build out an onboarding process in a year's time.
Yeah.
So it was really hard, but I did the onboarding spreadsheet and the videos and everything while I was actually training them. That's why the training is taking so long.
Yes.
Right.
And
because
that's
I'm building
totally
the onboarding.
okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why that's taking so long. So for the entire summer, August, September, and October, I've been building the company drive so that everyone knows where their area is. And I've been building the onboarding process so that everyone is clear. And then there's something that I can use later on and something that I can also show clients how to do if they want to do that. So for me, working the inside of the bullseye while I did that was my way of generating revenue.
Yeah. Yeah.
It worked perfectly, Mariana. Textbook example of it. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm so happy for you and for that whole thing working and you doing it. Honestly, it only just takes doing it. It does require mindset work though, too, because when we're working that inside, we're like, well, what if they don't need something else? Or what if they don't want this other thing? And that takes its own mindset work. So good job for you doing that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So that is what we have for today. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know. And then to wrap up the show, where can people find out more about you and come and learn all about conflict resolution, which, by the way, I've taken her program. It is incredible. I feel like I can finally manage conflict in all areas of my life. And when you said that, they started this business realm and then they expanded everywhere. That's how I felt I have evolved with the process that you teach. So thank you.
Ooh, thank you so much. That makes me so happy. And everyone, you can find me. I hang out at Marshall Duke Consulting. That's the company. And it's marshalldukeLLC.com. marshalldukeLLC.com, or just look for me, Tabitha Liburd, on Facebook and send me a friend request. You're going to find all of my information, find out where I hang out. Come hang out with me.
Hey, thank you.
Yay.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and click the like, hit the subscribe, and click on the bell so that you never miss an episode and help our channel to grow and reach more people. I hope you have an impactful day, and I will see you in the next one.